Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike. Today I am going to be doing my March Get Ready With Me using products from my shop, My Stash. In case you're new here, because lots of people joined us in the past couple of weeks, which is super exciting. I think you all found me through my declutters that I have been doing, but I also tend to do one of these every month. I select some products at the beginning of the month that I would like to focus on, and then at the end of the month I always try to do a Get Ready With Me, where I can then sort of share my thoughts and show you how some of these products go on, as sort of like a nice little roundup. So that's what we will be doing today. I'm just going to chat to you about the products that are here, but also I think a little bit about life in general, because we are all now in this super crazy situation, so we can't not mention it, even though I'm pretty sure a lot of us are currently going to YouTube to have a bit of a lightheartedness to it, and to just have something a bit more positive throughout the day. But yeah, perhaps you were wondering how I'm doing, and so I just wanted to talk to you about that, how I've been dealing with things and how things have been for me so far. So let's just get started. I have my primer here. This is still the Essence Hydrating and Perfecting Primer, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but this is very, very close to being empty. I think I will definitely be able to use this up sometime in April. I just need to give this a good shake. And there is so little product in here now that the dropper no longer works on this, so I just have to sort of go like this, and then I can apply this product to my face. So it does mean you need to shake it up every time. But yeah, how have I been doing? I hope you are all safe and healthy and all that. As things are starting to move around the globe, we of course see all the different responses of different countries and all that. In case you don't know, I'm located in the Netherlands, and over here I have been social distancing already for like 2 weeks now, just over 2 weeks, because all universities and schools for higher education, which is where I work, in case you're wondering, were already shut down by our government before even general education was shut down. So that was announced a few days later. So they announced it, and I haven't been to work since. I have been working because education is deemed one of the vital vital professions to keep society going, and so that's what we've been doing. So it's been a huge scramble, making sure that we can do everything online. I just feel incredibly lucky that when we decided to make some changes a couple of years ago to our curriculum, that we already moved like 95% of everything that we do online. We literally have just a handful of examinations that need to happen at school, and everything else for the courses I'm teaching can just be conducted online. So this is another almost empty product, by the way. This is the You Better Work eyeshadow primer by Essence. This is super empty. I really think I'm going to be using it up one of these days, but it's one of those products that, you know, has a lot in the bottom, so you never really know. But yeah, so I've been incredibly busy setting all of that up, and you know, you're really starting to see how important it is to see people in real life just to get stuff done, because yes, you can discuss everything through conference calls, but because you're not physically at work, you just don't see each other. So like usually you just wow, that was my voice. So usually what happens is that you can like run into someone's office to ask this or to do that, and right now you need to plan everything, because you can't just go ahead and go and look whether someone's there. You would have to physically call them. And just teaching has been very different, because I teach English, in case you're wondering, and they are very much workshop based, like with in-class assignments and like lots of feedback and doing all that. And this is just so much more difficult now. So I'm just finding myself just sending information through the grapevine. So rather than actually conducting these online sessions, I think I want to change it up. We are currently working with June 1st as a date here that we might be opening again, which would be convenient, because it means that a lot of the things that we are supposed to be doing can still happen. So we've had to make few changes, and everything was like moved online quite seamlessly for us. So that was great. Like my school already had a lot of like IT in place that could help us with that, and they just did some test runs to see whether it could hold the sudden flush of people who would start using Microsoft Teams, for instance. So that's what we have been using, and but I think I'm going to be changing it up to either narrated PowerPoints, or maybe I'm going to be using this camera to actually film. Excuse the noise if you hear anything. My next door neighbors just moved out, and yeah, so there's now people, I think, to check the house and fix things that they might have left broken to get some new tenants in. So I completely forgot to mention the foundation that I'm using, and this is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation in LN4. It looks to be a bit dark, but because it's such a sheer coverage, I feel I can get away with it. It definitely doesn't make my skin look super pale, I feel. I do apologize if the light is going in and out, because sometimes the sun comes out and then it gets super bright, so I don't want to adjust the brightness just yet. But there's also some clouds today. So yeah, this is a really nice foundation. I was using the Catrice Poreless Mousse foundation at the start of the month, and I wasn't a huge fan. If you want to see what I think of that foundation and what it looks like on my skin, then make sure you check the review on my blog, which I will link down below. But yeah, this I'm still sort of getting acquainted with and sort of getting used to it. It has a very nice lightweight texture. I do think that it has a bit of a perfumey smell, which I'm not too happy with. I don't like a lot of fragrance in my products, but so far so good. I like the coverage this gives. It's really nice, lightweight, and because it's so lightweight, I could get away with a darker shade, so that's okay. So yeah, online teaching has been super intensive. All of the conference calls I'm into now when I have a meeting is also quite intensive. So it's been very tiring, so I definitely found myself in need of like laptop-free days here and there and doing all that. And other than that, I've just been trying to stick to my routine as much as I can. So yeah, I've just been trying to really stick to my routine as much as possible and not change too much. And because I still have so much work on hand, like I've been grading, I've been doing everything that I just need to do, but now everything is online. So I'm still stuck in a full-time job, but now I'm doing it from home. So it's not as if I'm stuck for anything to do. I thought that now that I don't have to commute so much, that would free up time for me to read more, but that has not happened yet because this whole situation, this whole switcheroo has been incredibly crazy, and it's just really left me with like just fatigue and like it's been a thing. And because I'm now stuck in the house all day, what I do try to do every day is to make a point of going outside for a walk, and I took like a massive bike ride the other week as well. So I'm definitely trying to make the most of it, but work has been keeping me very busy indeed. Moving on to concealer then, because I'm rambling. This is the Catrice Instant Awake Concealer. I have mine in Neutral Light. It's one of those twist up clicky pens with a sponge tip applicator. And so far, I'm really liking this. This is also a nice lightweight concealer, but I'm not sure if you can see this now that I'm applying it, but that little sponge is a bit just flimsy and it's not the best. And this is one that I had predicted would run out very soon. And the fact that I need to twist it up in between uses is already a sign that this is definitely on its last leg. So again, I think I will move it into April just to use it up and then use something differently. Right, so moving on to powder, and I think that when I get to my Shop My Stash, I'm going to stop using this because I can barely get any product out. I know I could repress this, but I find that with this powder, this is the Faced Primed Poreless, by the way, if you repress it, I find that the texture changes and it's not as nice anymore. So yeah, this is just one that's currently very difficult to use. But yeah, I'm trying to make the most of it. And that also just goes for the entire situation. Like I have been, as I mentioned, self-isolating already for more than a week. I haven't been to work. I haven't actually been outside of my little bubble of my neighborhood in like 2.5 weeks. And usually I'm like someone who like goes to dance classes and dance parties, and I go to the gym and I do this and I do that, and you know, it's definitely been an adjustment. And a lot of people were saying, like colleagues, etc., were asking me like, how are you coping? Because you live by yourself. And I'm like, I'm used to being stuck at home by myself, so don't worry about me. Like, I haven't been feeling lonely or anything like that, in case you're wondering. I also haven't been feeling lots of anxiety about the entire situation. I just, you know, I'm just amazed, first of all, by how quickly, if I look at my own situation, how quickly we were able to scramble together a completely new program within like 2 weeks. Because where I work, like most of our classes have just continued online. We hardly skipped a beat. Like, it was like, boom, next day we were doing everything online. And that's not, of course, the case for everyone. So I'm very happy that, you know, my employer had been investing in good IT solutions for a while these past few years, so that working from home is also quite easily done. And of course, you know, I have a YouTube channel, so I'm sort of used to being on camera, which is again one adjustment that I didn't have to make that a lot of my colleagues did, because they're just not used to it. Yeah, so I've been finding that having a YouTube channel is now super duper handy, because it means I just understand a lot of the tech a lot better as well. That's behind it. And I'm actually now considering, rather than doing these online sessions where I just, you know, read out my PowerPoint, because that's pretty much what it boils down to. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna sort of hopefully trial that this week. And that is to record videos for them. So to have like a PowerPoint in the background that hopefully I can, like, I hope my TV allows me to record it. So I can have like the TV in the background and like a smartboard and use it that way. But that's what I'm gonna try and do. For brows, which I just finished. Essence Superlast Brow Pomade. To be quite honest with you, I still have a lot of this left. Like, there's a lot here. This is a pencil that you can use for quite some time before it runs out, which is a good thing. But I do have to say that I would love to try something differently, because I've been buying some new brow products and I'm just itching to use them more. And currently I'm still stuck on this one. And my policy is to not use a brow product until the other one has been used up. And so I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick to it. But yeah, by now I'm getting a little bit sick of this really thick pencil as well. I prefer a skinnier pencil. And then for brows, and in terms of gel, I've been using the Wow Brow by e.l.f. And this is a nice applicator, but I find the formula of this just to be a little too wet. So I do like how it goes on. I think that if you have difficulty getting the Essence Make Me Brow, but you would like an affordable brow gel and you can get e.l.f., that this is a really good alternative to it. It's just not my favorite, because I just find it a little bit too wet, which can make it a bit difficult to apply. Moving on to cheeks then. And I have all new cheek products for you. This is the Solar Powder Bronzer by Soap & Glory. And this is one that I've mentioned as probably being able to hit pan on these. I'm not sure yet whether it will happen this year, but this is one of my favorite bronzers for this time of the year. And sadly, I have found out that it has been discontinued. Such a shame. Happens to the best of products, I guess. But yeah, I still have mine. I love mine. And I was getting over my Makeup Forever Pro Fusion bronzer a little bit, because I find that really nice in the wintertime, because it also has a little bit of a sheen. But now that we're into spring, I have moved on to this one. So I was like, I'm just going to use this. So towards, I think, you know, the second half of March, I started using this more, and I was like, yes. This is why I love this bronzer. It's just so easy to use. It doesn't look muddy on the skin. Yeah, if you didn't have this yet, then I'm terribly sorry that I'm using a discontinued product, but I also just want to use the products I love. Then, for highlighter, because that would be my next step, I put this in my Shop My Stash, the Soft Sun, what's this called? Face Luminizer in Cinnamon Sky. And this powder is gorgeous. I wasn't entirely sure, because if you look at this in lamplight, it seems to have glitter particles in it, but those don't translate to the face. So this has been gorgeous. So this is a highlighter that's not super intense, like it is a more subtle one, but I'm not sure if you can see that. It does give a really nice sheen, and this is a really good shade for me, so I've been really enjoying this Zoeva highlighter. It seems to be the case that if I turn my face this way, the camera turns darker, so I'll try not to do that. And then I've been really enjoying this little guy. This is the Ciaté blush in Matchmaker, and this is like a pinky rosy shade, and I've been loving this so much. I just saw so many people decluttering these blushes a while ago actually, but I think this just looks super pretty on the face. It just gives you enough color that it works, but not to the point where it goes too overboard. Like, it just gives you such a nice, pretty, natural look to the face. And that's what I personally like when it comes to blush. I don't like something that's too crazy that I don't like. Still going strong. My MAC Paintpot in Painterly. And that, of course, you've seen me do this combo a million times if you've seen any of my eye looks or anything like that. I always double prime my lids because I find that that works best. I have an incredibly deep crease, which means that everything creases on me with that primer, and I do want to cancel out my lids, but if I just use one primer, it won't stay put. And I do like to go in with a bit of eyeshadow, so I'm using this creamy colored eyeshadow by The Body Shop. This is my last one of these, you guys. I'm so sad. And I know someone mentioned in my comments that I could just, once this runs out, that I could just use the creamy shades that I have in my palettes, which I completely understand, and I would agree with that. It's just that this combo fits into my drawer, and regardless of the palette I use, I always have it on hand. So for me, this is just practical to have a separate, like, creamy colored shadow. For me, I don't need creamy colors in my palettes, even though like every single one of them has one. And then I would like to do a look with this one. This is the Essence Witch Side palette. I haven't used all of the shades in this yet. I did a shade with these a look with these darker shades in my first impression Get Ready With Me. And I just did a look with these lighter shades on my own. So I still need to use this one, and I also want to use this one a bit more. And then I think I have used every single shade that's in here. Maybe I want to put in that rose gold, but I also have this one. So I think that I can put this one all over the lid. This is the little single that I purchased. And I just thought that I could use this opportunity to use this again, because very soon, not this week, but next week, I want to do another 10 palette review. So in case you didn't know, whenever I try new eyeshadow palettes, I sort of lumped them together in groups of 10. And then I do one video where I talk about all 10 of them. So I wanted to make sure I have all the looks that I need and have used all the shades before I do that review next week. So that's coming up. So I'll go into Supernatural here and just use that as a crease shade. While we're doing this look, I thought we could just chat a bit more. I hope you guys are all really well and that things are going just fine and that nobody's freaking out too much. I've been hearing so many people who are saying things like, oh, I can't cope with this, and I need to not only social distance but also step away from social media. My tactic has just been to really sort of try and, I'm not sure what they're doing next door. I'm terribly sorry if you can hear that banging. But my tactic has just been to only check the news like on set times of the day and not do it right before I go to bed. So I tend to check it like in the morning and then around lunchtime and then around dinner time, and then I'm good. You know, I don't want to overload myself, because I think, you know, that's also something that you need to try and do, is just to try and stay sane, you know, just to not freak out too much. And that's one of the reasons why I've been really liking going outside every day, because that just, you know, has me. Ooh. I think they're breaking out a kitchen next door. That has to be the case, because I'm not sure what's going on. This is a really pretty shade, by the way. I do really like this. It has a bit of a like greeny tinge to it. So yeah, as I was saying, before the banging got too loud, I've been just really trying to like deal with things through that perspective, and going outside and like getting my body moving has been a great way to do that for me. Like I just need that to stay sane to begin with. Like I exercise for mental health mainly, because I just find that if I work out and like do that, it really clears my head and I can just feel a lot better. And so I've been trying to do that as well now that I'm, you know, stuck at home. Now I'm going to go in with this one because I really want to use that. This sprinkled chrome eyeshadow in Mars. I just really want to use this. Let's see if this one is better on the lid than the one that I used the other day. So this is a pretty pinky shade, but I don't think this is really going on. Like it just dusts away a little bit. And what I found, like finger, oh yeah, finger works much better. What I also found with the shades that have this sort of like flakiness to them that are in the palette, now that I've used all of them, is that with a brush, they don't really mix, it doesn't really mix the shades together, and you have a tendency to really get like lots of like white. The other day I used, which shade was it again? I believe it was this one. I used this in my inner corner, and some of that white from one of those specks got like stuck to my lid and it just wouldn't blend out. So not sure what was going on there, but this is pretty so far, I think. Let me put in a little bit of an inner corner highlight here with Amulet. So yeah, these have some pretty shadows, but I don't think I'm too like sold on it. Like it looked super pretty in the pan, but I don't think this is one that I'm going to be using a lot. So yeah, that's, you know, this whole situation is of course different for everyone. But yeah, working out and trying to stay active has been very helpful for me. So I try to go outside at least once a day, even if it's just to run errands, so to get to the grocery store. So what I've been actually doing, because that's something that we can still do here, like you can go to the grocery store. So what I've been actually doing is to actively not buy too much in one go. So I've not stocked up on too much, and actually the other day I was at the grocery store and I was like, in line, I was like, oh, now I'm forgetting this product. And I was like, no, Mikey, you don't have to buy it, because it's going to give you an excuse to, you know, to get out the house and to do something differently than sit behind your computer all day. Because that's for me been the toughest thing to deal with. Just the amount of screen time that I'm all of a sudden getting is insane. Like usually if I'm teaching, I'm in a group with 20 other people in a classroom, and I use my laptop, but I'm not behind my laptop. And the same if I'm in a meeting with people, I'm in a meeting with people and I'm not behind my laptop. So that's been super tiring. Luckily it hasn't been giving me headaches or anything like that. It's doing okay. So what I just did is I put Talisman also on the lower lash line. So I put this in the lower lash line and this one too. And then I think what I'm going to do is going to take Shadowy and just see if I can brighten up the center of the lid. Just to add a bit of variety here. So that works quite well, I think. And I think I can also use a bit of Potion here, which is this shade, that plummy shade. And I'm going to use that as a bit of a liner, because I don't find that this palette has a lot of definition on its own. I think there's a lot of like medium and light shades, but these darker shades just help to bring things together a bit more. This may be a bit red for a liner. So I am going to quickly set my face with my setting spray, which is very low. So that would be the Makeup Revolution Fixing Spray in green tea. That's like my favorite now. And then I'm going to go and apply mascara. This is the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift, which I've been loving. They were doing a sale, so I already got 2 backups of this. I know. That's how much I love it. And then I have the Catrice Glam and Doll Waterproof. and then we're almost done. I just have lips left, and I would like to show you this. This is the Catrice, what's it called again? Oh, here the name is. Hemp and Mint Glow Lip Balm in 010 High on Life. And I was a bit skeptical about this one because I wasn't sure whether it's going to work. It is a lip balm, but it's a green lip balm. And it's one of those that will change color when you apply it. So it's one of those like frog prints kind of things that Lipstick Queen started doing a while ago, but it's a bit lighter. This gives like a pinkish reddish shade to your lips. And I'm always super skeptical about these because very often they don't really show up on my lips, but this one does. So let me show you. See, it does add a little bit of color to your lips, and I do really like this, especially now that I'm stuck at home. I've been using this a ton because it puts some color on my lips, but it's not like a full like budge proof liquid lipstick or anything like that, and I just can't be bothered now that I'm stuck at home. And the only reason why I'm doing my makeup is to have a routine and to feel like I got ready in the morning. That's sort of been the purpose of me doing my makeup. And then it's just nice to have something lightweight like this and something I don't have to worry about when I grab a cup of coffee or anything like that. So that's why I've been really liking this so far. And this is a product that really surprised me when I first tried it, because I've tried a lot of these sort of like stainy, color changing lip products and they never work for me. This one does. So that has been a good one. I've been playing that like a couple of times every day. And that's pretty much it. That's the finished look. I know this was a bit rambly. I was a bit all over the place because I was also distracted by the banging next door. And I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to say. I was like, I'm just gonna turn on my camera and chat to you guys. So that's what we did. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. And, you know, stay safe, stay healthy, all that. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. That would be lovely. Lots of you have already been doing that based off my declutters, I think. So that has been lovely. Lovely to see so many new people joining me here on my little nook on YouTube. So I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye.